Gettysburg, South Dakota. Try to find us on a map. Hi, I'm Maddy Matson. I grew up in Gettysburg, South Dakota, a town not many have heard of, but one that many of us could learn from. I'm a first-generation low-income student, and I'm so blessed to next month be starting my third year at Swarthmore College, one of the top-rated liberal arts schools just west of Philly. Thank you. But growing up, I wasn't this hometown all-star athlete. I was the kid who got 2 jobs at 14. I was your local smiling face at the diner, in the bakery, and the nursing home, all in the same week. And even after graduation, I stayed in Gettysburg for 2 years. Leaving for college over 1,000 miles away was one of the hardest things I've ever done. Because back home in Gettysburg, leaving your community just isn't what you do. And I did it. I quit my job. I sold my furniture. I typed Philadelphia into Google Maps, and I got on the road. I studied abroad last semester, and most of our pre-semester orientation was about this whole relearning everything because of the culture shock we'd experienced in a new country. All of this sounded so similar to when I first arrived on the East Coast from my Midwest small town. Gettysburg and many rural communities have their own distinct culture. And it's great. Everyone thinks the same, does the same things, more or less. It's comfortable. It's my home. Now, Philadelphia, Swarthmore, was an absolute culture shock for the rural South Dakota girl. All of a sudden, I was debating global economic policy at lunch. Everyone spoke multiple languages. It was a very progressive culture compared to what I was used to. Midwest nice, definitely not a thing on the East Coast. But also, I felt like I finally found people who were moving at my speed. It was a whole different world. Here's the thing. My whole life, I thought that being from a small town in South Dakota was a liability. And as it turns out, it's one of my biggest assets. Why does this matter? For me, for you, for every kid sitting in a classroom in rural America, wondering if the world saved a place for them. It did. Being a rural student absolutely is an asset. And being a rural student is your secret weapon. You will succeed anywhere you decide to go. There are bigger issues we must address too, though, and nothing is wrong with our small towns, but rather, these are issues built into our country's infrastructure. Our rural schools are underfunded. Our teachers are overworked, and our rural students are underestimated. From my own classroom in South Dakota to all of these communities that I've visited across 4 continents searching for these answers, what I've realized is the neglect of rural education is a global issue, but with local impacts. Simply put, we need to redefine rural education. Now, imagine school as not just a requirement, mandatory, not super necessary in these rural communities, as instead a breeding ground for knowledge, cultivating a brighter future for the entire community. What does this look like? Place-based education, empowering local educators. It looks like redefining going to school in all of the Gettysburg, South Dakotas across the United States, synonymous with rural kids turning their wildest dreams to reality. And, well, a rural student can turn their wildest dreams to reality with ease. We have the two secret ingredients. We figure it out, always. And we have an impeccable work ethic. The isolation of rural communities from exposure to different career paths and more so urban-based educational opportunities puts our students at a disadvantage in terms of social capital necessary for career growth. This is where you come in. This is where we must play our part. Rural education is undervalued. Rural teachers are overworked. Rural students are underestimated. This is our collective future. We can all play a role in improving our rural communities. Support policies that properly fund our rural schools. Volunteer. Most importantly, share your knowledge. Everyone is an expert in something. We must uplift rural communities by supporting rural education. What our communities teach us are assets in the real world, and our nation, our world needs our rural students. I left my town and I've had the chance to see the world, but my heart is still in the Dakotas. And let me tell you, I had no idea what I was doing when I left. I really still don't. But even though no one understood what I was doing, as a rural student, I just had to realize the value that I bring to this world. Small changes have big impacts in small communities. Our actions today are the seeds of tomorrow. And this is what builds our future, especially considering our rural students. This starts with each one of us. We must take action. We must redefine and recognize the importance of rural education. Thank you.